What is going on YouTube? So before we even start today's video, I want to give the biggest shout out to MaXpeedingRods for always looking out for your boy. And you know, of course, we got that discount code DFSQUAD at checkout. Guys, I've been preaching it, man. I'm telling you, check out their website. They have so much more than just coilovers, as well as something I'm gonna go ahead and say at the beginning of this video. Everyone that's talking about the coilovers is talking about the budget ones, the cheapest ones, the $212 coilovers. Okay, you cannot compare the $212 coilovers to the $500 Racelands or the True Hearts. Those are more expensive. What you can compare the True Hearts and the Racelands to are these right here. This is their more advanced setup, and this right here, this set right here before my discount is like 520 bucks. So use my discount, it should be under 500, it should be like 480 or so. And these right here, guys, are night and day difference from those red ones, those typical orange ones you see on everybody's car. These are like night and day difference. So the budget ones work fine. They get your car low. They ride okay to me. I mean, a Honda's a Honda. It's not gonna ride like a Lexus anyway. But for everyone that's been complaining and saying MaXpeedingRods is trash, MaXpeedingRods, they have been advancing a lot, guys. The spring rates are different. The shock and body, like the inside of the valving and stuff like that, all of that has been redone in these coilovers, and it reflects that in the price. The price is a little bit more expensive, but with these, you're gonna get that same quality that everyone's trying to compare the budget ones to. That's what kills me in all the pages that I follow on Facebook, all the different people that are talking trash about MaXpeedingRods. They're running the cheap ones, they're running the $200 ones, and they're trying to compare them to a $450, $500 set of coilovers. It's just not gonna work. But again, guys, these are the ones that if you're trying to compare with Racelands and with even the first generation functioning forms like the Type 1s, this is that coilover to compare it to. Now, the only difference that I have seen really between these and the functions are the fact that I don't think these get as low as the functioning forms will. But in my case, that's not going to be a problem. I'm not trying to dump this thing smack on the ground. I'm just trying to lower it down and give it a better, like a firmer ride, because this thing rides really squishy right now. So hopefully we can get these on and it'll change all of that. Here's a little comparison, boys. The old stock EK setup in the new MaXpeedingRods setup. Definitely an upgrade. Also, with anything past 93, you have to put these little cups on the end. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, for the longest time, I just been winging it, just sticking them on and putting it in the car, but I figured out the best possible solution to these things, and I'm gonna show you step by step right now. So here's the fork, and here's a little cup. I found that it works great to slide this in, line up the little slits, pause, and just slide it straight into the fork like that, right? Now, here's the thing that always screws me, because the bolt has to pass through this hole. It's not gonna focus, I don't think. It's gotta pass through this hole to tighten on the other side. And if you can see, there's a little bit of material right there on the right side that sticks out, and that causes like the bolt to bind all up, and sometimes it can cross thread the bolt. So what I figured to do is take a drill bit, which is about the same size as the hole itself, and I just I don't go all the way through, because your threads are on this side here, so you don't want to come all the way into it, but the threads don't start till about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch in. So I just kind of go in right here and eat away that material some until there's a clear passageway through. So you see that blockage there? You can see the silver from the sleeve that's kind of blocking the center of the hole. We're gonna shave that material down with the drill bit. And now if you look, you can see a pretty straight shot to the hole in the back. And that little bit of material, guys, makes the bolt go in so much easier. I am setting my ride height at 1.25 inches on both sides at the front. That does not directly pertain to how low the car is gonna be, but it's just how I measure and keep track of what I'm setting it at so that the car sits level. I'm not exactly sure how to measure the coilover adjustment itself and get the ride height you're looking for. That just never, I've never understood that, but what I always do is just measure each side. If it's sitting how I like it, which I'm pretty sure this will be pretty straight. I think it's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be too low. I started to leave it as low as possible, like maxed out low, but then I thought about it. Sometimes the front can go lower than the rears and stuff like that. So I did bring it up quite a bit. I brought it up at least like 1 inch. And again, this is pertaining to the distance between the collars, not the actual ride height. I don't know if that's measured the same way or not, but this is just how I do it. So I'm gonna adjust this down. Oh, let me put the fork in first. Get them straight. And if you've never done coilovers before, guys, I'm gonna tell you a little secret right now. The hardest part to coilovers is getting the old suspension out. That is the hardest, trickiest thing to do. Once you got the old suspension out, I'm telling you guys, the new is gonna slide in so much easier, simply because it's not as long. Cause like that stock stuff, it be long as shit. And there's literally like no room in there for movements. But the aftermarket coilovers, they're so much shorter. Just off the rip, man, you get so much more room to wiggle. Just like, see now, the fork has like 1 inch gap before it even touches the bottom of the sleeve. What we're gonna do is we're gonna line this fork up. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this top down a bit so we're down there where we wanna be. And we'll just guide the fork up into the bottom of the coilover sleeve here, just like so. And that's it, boys. She's bottomed out. I always make sure they're bottomed out. And she doesn't move. Now guys, on the back, we're gonna start with pulling out this stock camber arm, I guess that's what it's called. 3 14mm bolts. And there's your stock arm. Guys, we're underneath the car here, and we're gonna start by pulling out these 3 14mm bolts. They be in there too. So for whatever reason, this one on the end is like seized the fuck up. I was not hoping for that. And cause I can tell it's turning, the bolt itself is turning on the end that tightens down. It's just the whole bushing's rotating in there. The whole bushing. And it's if you've never seen it, it's coming, cause it happens on a lot of generations. So guys, if I can get you down here. Guys, I'm gonna be real with you. There is definitely a guide, because that thing, so this was the bolt, and this was the bolt that was seized up, and I put the penetrating oil on there, shout out PB Blaster, let it sit for a little while, and that thing came out, guys. It came the freak out. So we're gonna give this thing a couple taps. There's your stock versus aftermarket MaXpeedingRods comparison there, boys. This red is like, it looks good. It looks freaking sweet. So now we're gonna start by, we can go ahead and put this in. Remember what I said, the same thing applies in the rear as the front. The stock stuff is just so much longer. Pause. You can see I haven't adjusted anything on this coilover, and you can already see how much shorter it is than the factory setup. This gives you a lot more room to put it up in the car. So we're gonna go ahead and get this part installed. It's really simple, guys. Literally 3 bolts hold this entire thing in. So we'll just slide this back up and into place. Sometimes you might have to massage it in. These ears can be bent a little one way or the other. Get the bolt in there, get it started. Just like so. Leave everything loose until you get everything lined up. I've already talked to MaXpeedingRods about this, but what I did figure out this go around that I didn't think about the last time, and this will help all of you guys, because your stock rear strut actually has the nut welded onto the side of it. Well, the MaXpeedingRods coilover does not, so that leaves you without a nut. Pause. But what I did discover, you know, the MaXpeedingRod coilovers have a nut for the top, like it bolts it into the back of the car. So if you're using those two nuts, the ones that you took off the stock setup, one of these will thread right onto the bolt that goes through the bottom of the coilover. So you won't have a bolt for it, a nut for it, but use one of the ones off of the top hat and it'll bolt right on. That's what I did for the other side. Did not think of that the last time I did coilovers on the Civic, but now that I know that, that's what I'll do from now on. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this nut put on, and then we can slowly lift it up into the car, put those nuts on, get this camber arm on, and we should be done with this side. Just like that. And guys, here is a comparison of the camber arm, stock versus not. So guys, this is pretty much how she's sitting right now. This is not a level space at all, so I think it's got this tire jolted up under the fender a lot more than it should be. It's kind of lumpy, so it's higher here than the dips, and it's like knots up in the ground right there. I think it should be sitting more like this side on level ground, which this side looks pretty freaking even, guys, if I do say so. Like, it looks damn near spot on for the be guessing, and this is just my first time sitting on the ground. It looks damn near perfectly evened out, and of course it's gonna look a lot better when we get a bumper on this thing. But yeah, man, she is coming together. I've been looking and looking for some OEM Plus type wheels like the last couple weeks, because I know that that's gonna set this thing off, as well as of course when we can paint it, but that'll come in time. Yeah, and man, when we restore these headlights and put that hood and stuff on, it's gonna be like a whole different car. And once we do the wheels, it's gonna look pretty fucking decent for what it is, guys, for real. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap this video up here, guys. With that being said, man, make sure you go check out MaXpeedingRods. Link is always in the description. If you're looking for coilovers, check these out. If you're on a budget, get the basic ones, but don't compare the basics to like the higher or the more mid-range brands, because it's just not fair. If you're gonna compare a set of coilovers, do the ones that they have. These are the 7 series, and these match more perfectly with like True Hearts and the baseline functioning form. So yeah, those that be trying to throw shade on MaXpeedingRods, again, I got the cheap ones on the H2B and on Nisha's car. But I know the H2B gets beat the shit out of like daily. Every time I drive it, I just like kill that thing. So they've been holding up. Matter of fact, since if anybody doesn't believe it, I'm gonna show you guys. So there they are. Basic MaXpeedingRods coilovers. These don't even have the adjustability on them, I don't think. Let's check. But I don't think these had adjustability because I got these way back and I just didn't care. Nope. No adjustment, nothing. Just straight basic MaXpeedingRods coilovers on here. Same thing goes for the B16, guys. Baseline MaXpeedingRods, and I think these are in fact y'all's favorite color. Yeah, everyone's favorite color. It drives so much better than those blown out, worn out functioning forms I had on it, and it drives a lot better than pretty much any of the other cars that I have. So MaXpeedingRods is definitely developing their products, and I'm super glad they're doing it. They're not just staying the same. They're trying to upgrade, man, and compete with the best of them. And for those that get mad at that, something's wrong with you. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Like, share, subscribe. I will catch y'all next time. Remember, respect all bills. Peace out.